25 years ago, the RS badge began with this, the Audi RS2 in lovely Nogaro blue. Then we had the first RS6, which is over here, which had a V8 bi-turbo engine in it. Then we moved over to here, to this, the V10 RS6. And then finally, over here, back to a turbocharged V8 again. But now, there's a new one, and it's just over here. And here it is, the brand new RS6. And before we get onto the design and what's under the bonnet and all that sort of thing, something very exciting if you're in American markets, because this is the first RS6 you'll actually be able to buy in the US. Tremendous news, I'm sure you'll agree. So let's start with design, because there are only 3 panels that are actually the same as a standard A6. So you've got the roof, the boot and the front doors, which are the same. Everything else is different. And a lot of that stems from the fact that this has got the RS7 lights down here, so they're narrower, more aggressive. They're matrix LEDs as standard. You can also get lasers in them as well. Lasers, how cool is that? Which is the only 6 series that you can have lasers on. That means you've also got a new bonnet here with a power dome. More of what's underneath that in a second. And then it's 80mm wider at the front, which is really quite a lot. And I think you'll agree makes it, well, I'd say the most aggressive looking RS6 to date. If you want to sort of tone it down a bit, perhaps because some people like their RS6s to sort of fly under the radar a bit, well, you can have lots of the bright work that's down there actually in black or black carbon packs, which would make it that bit more stealth. Worth saying as well, they've got rid of the frame round here as well to sort of declutter it and make it sort of, well, more aggressive, I suppose. Plus we've got the 3 slats from the Sport Quattro in there, which is becoming something of a sort of signature theme in recent RS product. Under the bonnet, well, we've got the twin turbocharged V8 as we've become used to. It's now got 100 Newton meters more torque, so that's up to 800 Newton meters, which is 590 pounds-foot of torque, 592 brake horsepower, 600 PS. 0 to 62 miles an hour in 3.6 seconds and a top speed of 189 miles an hour. That's actually with option packs. You starts off at 155 and I think goes up to 174 and then up to the top whack once you've delimited everything at 189. If you're going to do that, then you need some big stoppers. So if we come around here, this is wearing the optional 22-inch wheels, standard 21-inch wheels. Standard, you get steel brakes down here with 10-piston calipers. This has got the optional carbon ceramic brakes, which are 440mm discs at the front, still 10-piston calipers, which is, well, pretty enormous. You can have the brake calipers painted in different colours if you want. There we go. It's just a little styling detail for you. Specific wheels as well for the RS6. So we move our way down the side, let's talk about the suspension next, because you've got 2 options. So air suspension as standard, and you can still have the top speed without air suspension. Then you've got the dynamic ride system, which is effectively you switch out the air suspension for steel springs and then have electronically controlled hydraulic dampers with the cross damping. So you've got the central valve, which helps keep it stable in the corners. And the important thing about this now is that you can actually have a towing hook for both of those suspension systems. Previously you could only have it on air suspension. So now if you want to trailer your, I don't know, your S1 Evo Quattro rally car around behind you, then you can do that with both cars. So let's move down to the back a little bit. We've got new roof spoiler up here, and then got this big design detail. I think I would have it with a black pack simply because I think this is possibly just a bit much, but certainly makes it distinctive. And we've got the largest ever oval exhausts there, which are bigger than ever and should sound pretty good. You can tell those are the sports exhaust ones because they're dark. So there we are. I think we should go and have a quick look inside. Settled into the new seats in here, which are now ventilated as well, so they'll keep you nice and cool, which will be good on a day like today because it's boiling in here. Anyway, talk about the steering wheel first, because If you want what they're calling dynamic all-wheel steering, so this has rear-wheel steer for the first time as an option, which goes up to 5 degrees in the opposite direction to the front wheels and up to 2 degrees in the same direction as the front wheels. Then you have to have the dynamic steering for the front wheels as well, so it comes as a package, and also the sport differential in the rear has to be part of that pack as well. So otherwise, no rear wheel steer and normal steering. So it'll be interesting actually to try that out, see if the dynamic steering's improved over the years. So I think we'd always still say we would prefer the standard rack, but you know, rear wheel steering's undoubtedly going to add quite a bit of agility, so it'll be interesting to try and drive that and see what actually the benefits are overall. Other things to mention in here, well, we've got the screens in here, and if we go to car here and then the RS monitor, then we've got all sorts of things on these screens. We've got tyre pressure loss indicator, and then this one's quite cool because you've got the temperature, so engine oil, sport differential, gear oil, brake discs and coolant, and you can see how they are all warming up or going over, sort of should there be something wrong perhaps if you're going around the circuit. Also, I want to mention the paddles. The gearbox is an 8-speed auto, so it's not a dual clutch. We have got mild hybrid tech in this as well, so that's not only for the starter motor, but also to enable the sort of the gliding, which you can do. It's not, sadly, so it's not like Mercedes EQ Boost, which is in the E53s, where it gives you an extra surge, and that seems like a slightly missed opportunity. Perhaps we'll see that in future from Audi. I certainly hope so, because it is. I think it's really quite a cool system. But these paddles, they are actually aluminium, so they feel a bit more premium, which is nice. It's something I've been banging on about for ages, so finally, thankfully, they have fixed that. What else to say, really? Cognac colour leather. Oh yes, and you now have an RS mode button on the steering wheel, so they've been somehow missing that sort of button, I think, just to go straight to the heart of what you want in terms of setup on the car. So this replaces the old individual modes, and you can have RS1 or RS2, which brings us all the way back to that car of 25 years ago. Let us know what you think about this new RS6. Are you pleased that it's coming to America?